What's good, everybody? It's your man Dozer on the radio, and today I'm in Classic Studios again to interview Vince Nantes. So let's get these interviews started, asking some questions so you guys are going to get to know who Vince is. So first off, who are your biggest influences?
Biggest influences? I mean, aside from like friends and family, music-wise, I'd have to say Stevie Wonder, Music Soul Child, Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight. Those are definitely like musicians I definitely grew up kind of like idolizing musically. So I would have to say those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I love about your sound is that you definitely sound like your influences are from the 90s.
A little bit, yeah.
How would you say, or let's say, who's the biggest artist that influenced you from the 90s?
Biggest artist from the 90s, Brian McKnight and Boyz II Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just wake up every morning singing Boyz II Men songs, or like Brian McKnight. And really just those were kind of just the main people that I listened to. I mean, of course, Michael Jackson. I mean, he's obviously the king, but really what kind of just pulled me into singing myself was Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight. Anything.
All right. Now, as a songwriter, what inspires you to write your songs?
Life. Because, I mean, you know, as a songwriter, you definitely want to be somebody that can bring out honesty in music. You obviously want to give hope, inspire, and be honest with what you do and what you write and create. So really it's kind of, I just base it off of just life in general. Things that I've gone through, things that I've experienced, whether it be bad or good or neutral, you know, it's just, for me to write something real, that's what comes easiest.
So let's talk about YouTube and all these, there's a lot of Asian American kids that are popping up on YouTube that have amazing voices, you know, singers, rappers, all that. You know, AJ Raphael, you know, Jeremy Passion, all these guys, you know, and girls as well. Yeah. So let's talk about how you think that may have started and what's the outbreak, and is it, you know, you guys are coming in and be like, you know, we're taking over R&B, you know?
YouTube is great for any musician. It's free marketing, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, just being in that Asian community, you have immediate respect and of a following for, you know, the Asian community that you're targeting or that you're involved with. And I think what they've done for just Asian American artists in general was kind of pave a path for people who are trying to do it. I mean, you have AJ Raphael, you have Jeremy Passion that are great musicians, and because of YouTube they have such a great independent following that they don't technically really need to get signed to a label.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, they have
huge followers.
Yeah, they have a huge following. They have millions of followers, and you know, they're touring just off of that. You know, like Asian organizations, colleges, you know, world tours are flying them out to do shows, and I think that's super inspiring because I'm one of them. You know, I'm trying to put on for, you know, people of my race and my culture, as well as for everybody that just loves music in general. I mean, universally, music is a universal language, and just to be able to have that opportunity because of what they started is huge. Okay. Yeah, and I definitely got to actually share a stage with a couple YouTube stars last year. So it was kind of an experience. I got to pick their brain. I was kind of just like, hey, what's it like?
What advice did you get from them?
You know, just keep on working at it. You know, just like any hardworking artist would give you, just don't stop. You know, when you get to the point where you feel like you should give up, just keep on going, because, you know, obviously without hard work there's no results.
Definitely. Okay. So let's talk about your two mixtapes that you put out. Okay. The Aesthetics. You got 1 and part 2. Mm-hmm. Now, what came about with that title?
It was kind of random, really. I was with one of my buddies from St. Louis, my guy Blake, and he was there like from the beginning too, and then he was like, man, you really have to just buckle down, get this music together, and, you know, you got to figure out the aesthetic of what you want for your music. And I was like, well, the aesthetic of who I am and what I do is I'm a singer and I'm a songwriter. So then I guess that kind of stuck with everything, because the Aesthetic one was more of like an introductory kind of a mixtape that I released. It was more along the lines of kind of just introducing myself. It's like, hey, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, here's some stuff that I did. Let me know what you think about it. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like a introductory kind of a tape to everybody, and then it was cool because like I did a remix to Bruno Mars's Nothing.
Beautiful girls all over the world, I could be chasing, but my time I'd be wasting. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. They might say hi, I might say, hey, you shouldn't worry about what they say. They ain't got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby.
I did another Bruno Mars cover, and I actually did a music video for it with one of my homegirls, Melissa Navarro.
I'll be doing the same thing. Sitting there goes my little girl, walking with that troublesome guy.
But they're just afraid of something they can't understand.
Ooh, but little darling, watch me change their mind.
And then just her page and my page combined with the video posted up, we got a cumulative of about like 95,000 hits.
Wow.
So that started like to translate into more followers via Twitter, people hitting me up and downloading my music. So again, going back to YouTube, it's a great outlet to reach out who normally wouldn't be able to reach. You know, I've got people in Australia, I've got people in Germany like reaching out, downloading my music, hitting me up on Twitter. And granted, it's not a huge lot of people, like it's somebody, you know, and to me at least that's huge. So, and then that's with the Aesthetic 1. The Aesthetic 2, man, like the overall story behind the Aesthetic 2 was just a roller coaster of one hell of a relationship I was with.
Yeah. But that's where that passion comes from.
Exactly.
When someone goes through something, you know, pretty heavy,
right.
it comes out in the music. And it definitely did with your mixtape.
Yeah.
Like I said, I loved it, man. It was awesome.
And that's pretty much where I think I matured and I grew, not only as just a person, but as an artist and as a songwriter, because I just went through so much stuff that I just had so much to say, so much to write about, and so much emotion to put into music. And I think that's where the evolution, I guess you could say, of Vince Nantes as a singer and a songwriter kind of started to develop. You know, the aesthetic, you know, comes from the beginning of a relationship to the end, to like a new beginning kind of a thing. So I try to pick up where I left off. Like I tried to pick up where I left off with the Aesthetic 1 and started it with the Aesthetic 2. So it's definitely just a chronological story of a relationship.
Yeah. All right. So what would you say your favorite song is, or the one that means the most to you, on either mixtape?
Man, honestly, Silly Love Song on the Aesthetic 1 is probably going to be the most to me. Reason being is because that's the first song I ever recorded.
Okay.
Ever. And it was here at Classic Studios.
All right.
It was produced by Chris Classic, engineered and mixed by him. So just the fact that that was my first song ever, that means a lot to me, because that's like the first step, you know what I mean? So that will always forever be like my favorite song. On the Aesthetic 2, you know, the first song, Girl Next Door, is a great song. Sleep, which is the 6th track on there, I kind of let people into more of like a romantic side of me, I guess you can say, versus like the beginnings of like, hey, let me try and holler at this girl, or like, man, I hate you, like towards the end. Like it comes in the middle where it's like I'm showing you more of a vulnerable side of myself, of me giving myself to somebody. That's a favorite song of mine.
So when you're in the studio, what feeling comes out of you? You know, when you're about to record a new song, what's that feeling you get? You know, is it man, I got to get this done, or is it, you know, this is it got to be perfect? What's the exact feeling?
Excitement.
Excitement?
Yeah, just because I work with my engineer, Elton, out of here, and just him and I have a good studio chemistry, you know. So, like, I walk in, and then we'll be like, oh, shit, we about to record some new music! So it's really exciting. So we're really hyped to record new music. Like, I think when you have that sense of urgency, like, man, I gotta record this, I gotta get this done. Like, yeah, you may have deadlines and things like that, but I think if you rush a product, it is what it is, and it's not going to come out as great as what you want it to be. So I think coming in there, coming into the booth, coming into the studio with just like excitement to record your music, timing and patience, you come out with a great product.
So if you could work with any artist or producer, who would it be? Whether it's indie or big label and artist.
Shit, man, I'd love to work with Pharrell.
Pharrell, okay.
Love
you know, that could be a good sound for you. I could see that.
Yeah,
happening,
no, I love Pharrell. High school, even till now, I love Pharrell. I love the Neptune sound. I love everything about them. Babyface, amazing songwriter. Diddy, just because I want to do a video with Diddy and just.
You want him to dance around?
I just want him to Diddy bop and do some crazy shit, pop bottles of Ciroc, Diddy holler at me. No, but I love to work with them. Honestly, Justin Bieber. I like to work with Justin Bieber. Not as far as like me doing a song with him, but I love to write a song for him. Like no matter what anybody says,
he's a cold dude.
He is cold.
He is.
No matter what anybody says, he's doing it right now. And Chris Brown, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are definitely good sounds for you.
Yeah.
Give me good luck. All right, now tell everybody where they can find your music, and if you got any upcoming projects you want them to check them out, let them know.
Man.
Cameras all yours.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Also, thank you to Dozer for having me. You can find my music at vincenantes.com. VinceNantes.com. Also, find me on Twitter at Vince Nantes. So those are primarily the main places you can reach me at. This is where you can find all my music, find all my contact info. I'm dropping a new song in 2 weeks called Love Jones, so be on the lookout for that. And my EP coming first quarter of next year called Life Happens. All right.
All right, everybody. Your man Dozer, Vince. Here we are, Classic Studios again. Thank them for letting us borrow the studios. Everybody, check out his music. Check out my videos. Love you. Peace out.
Yo, it's your man Vince. Just wrapped up an interview with Dozer. Check him out at DozerOnTheRadio.tumblr.com. Get in tune, man. Thanks.
I'm worth all of your time. Be mine, girl, I'll try. I'm worth your time. Please be mine.